functionalities. Appearance of the lane. Where UI is nothing. It's not that much important. Okay, so let's go ahead now and write down. See, write down next. Add a header and choose the layout format. Add a header and choose the layout format. Add a header and choose layout format. Write down. Select the layout and click on view properties. Select the layout and click on view properties. Wait, select the layout and click on view properties. So here you can go ahead and choose whatever you want. You choose. See, when you are practicing, you can see all these types of options and look at it how it appears. Okay, if you choose other, you should be able to see something else here in the. Okay, you can try with all these things one after the other going forward. So for now, inline grid double. Choose layout format equal to inline grid double. Right now. Okay, so here, right now, select this option. You need to select this option. Display header and title. Select this. Display header and title. Okay, so here you need to go ahead and give title. So whatever that you want to write, you can go ahead and write out. Anything, you go ahead and write down some text. Provide your customer details or something. Okay, so you can go ahead and save the section. Section is being created. Next we need to go ahead and create a flow action. So create a flow action. Check. అలాగే సరే ఏ కలరు అలాగే సరే. So next step is create a flow action. Flow action can be created under process category. Create a flow action. A white color Activa Honda Livo bikes ఎవరు అవి ఒకసారి తాళం అంటే ఇవ్వండి. అక్కడికి వెళ్ళి జస్ట్ మా కింద ఇంకో అతను ఉంటాడు, వాళ్ళు అడ్జస్ట్ చేస్తారు. Activa white వదిలేదు అంత కాకపోతే నువ్వు flow action. Right now, step 3, creating a flow action. Flow action can be created under process category. Flow action can be created under process category. So create process flow action. Okay, choose this. So here you go ahead and give the label, some name to the flow action. Capture. అదే మీరు కదా హోండా లియో అనేది చెప్పారు. ఓకే ఫైన్. క్యాప్చర్ కస్టమర్ డీటెయిల్స్ ఫ్లో యాక్షన్. ఓకే, హోండా బైక్ అయితే అవ్వలేదు కదా. Create and open. No, flow action. See that it's not mandatory that you have to give FA. It's up to you. The convention in your applications you are following. Bank of America, after I gave training, they started following this one. Okay, from the past. So you can go ahead and use like these conventions in your application development if already they are following. Okay. Go ahead. So once the flow action is created, here it will ask you the section. See, this is a drop down as I was telling you. In order to populate this, you need to click the down arrow on your keyboard. It will be populated and you will be choosing the section name there and then save it.
So for now we have created only one section, so it is showing only that section in the top profile.
Correct. So far we have only one. If you have n number of sections, okay, and then save it. Save this section. Next, step 4, create a workflow. Create a workflow. Flow can be created under process category. See, if you say workflow or flow, whatever it is same. Flow can be created under process category. Okay, so what is the navigation? Create process flow. Create process flow. Write down. Only for the first time you write down. Going forward, you are not required to write down all these things. Chappandi. అక్కడ మీ సేవ ఆఫీస్ అని అడగండి. ఆ బిల్డింగ్ లో సెకండ్ ఫ్లోర్ రండి. Yes, correct. So give a name to the flow. Customer info FL. Customer info FL. Create and open. Create and open. A bike parent 3311 bike అంటండి. 3311 లివో బైక్ అంట. మీరు కాదు ఎవరి కాదు ఇక్కడ. Okay, so see, this is the basic flow which you will see when you create a workflow. What is the first step is start shape and the last one is end shape. 3311 everyday 3311 bike everyday kaadu. Okay, fine. So this is the start shape, this is the end shape, and this is assignment shape. If you want to call the flow action, where you need to call, you have already noted, I think. Assignment shape, outward connector. So if you have gone through the video, so you have already seen it. So assignment shapes outward connector. So this outward connector, if you double click on it, and here you go, you will see a flow action drop down. So if you click the down arrow on your keyboard, then you should be able to see all the flow actions which you have created so far. We have only one flow action so far, so there is no need to choose anything else. This one is enough. Okay, so write down, draw this diagram first. Once you click on create, draw this diagram. You can delete and create it again. We will be creating it. Okay, done. Double click on the outward connector and here you choose flow action. And then submit this. Okay, I'm going to submit it now. So this is the fourth step which we have discussed, creating a flow and calling flow action. There is one more step which we have not discussed, but we have to do it. Okay, what is the other step? Step 5. What is step 5? Creating a work object. Apply the capability of creating work object on the flow. See, we are a diagram tab now. We need to go to process tab. So we need to go to process tab. So here if you go to process tab, look at here. You have an option available here called creates a new work object. So you need to select this and proceed further. We are going to learn about it within next 5 minutes. Okay. First you will do it. Okay. Select this option of creates a new work object. Right now. Go to process tab. Step 5. Creating work object. Step 5. Creating work object. Go to process tab of above flow. So write down this. Creates a new work object. Creates a new work object. See, scroll down and here you see work parties. Write down work parties. So this one we are going to learn maybe after 50% of the syllabus is completed. Till that point you will not understand. Okay. So for now you need to follow work parties. If you click the down arrow here, you will see PY case management default. Choose this. I am going to copy it. This is the option. Work parties is equal to PY case management default. You select this. Blindly you follow this step. We are not going to understand it now. Done. So now you can go ahead and save the flow. You can save the flow and save the flow. Okay. So here is action drop down. Click on the action drop down and choose run. Click on the action drop down and choose run. Now your flow will be executed. Look at here. No need to write down. Run. Once you run, you will see the flow execution at all. Errors is 90. See, this is the screen which we have created. First name, last name, age. So I can enter the information here. So like this, you can go ahead and enter the information, and then you did not create these buttons. They are automatically coming. We'll be understanding later how this is coming. I should be able to submit. This is email format, right? I should be able to submit this screen. Okay, I have submitted. So we'll understand now what is happening after you click on run. What is this option creates in work object? So far, whatever you have seen is a blind practice. Anyone can do it. Okay. So now, exactly after you create the flow, when you select the checkbox, after you run, what is happening in the background? Okay. So this is we are going to understand now about PRPC internally what is happening. Okay. So first of all, we'll go ahead with this option, creates a new work object. So before I explain you, I'm going to run it again. See, once I run this flow, so the flow will get started at start shape and ends at the end shape, and it will drag and it will be proceeding on its way. In between, you have n number of flow shapes. Everything will be executed step by step. Okay, it is what the multi-step transaction. Okay, now when you are going to run a flow in the background, what happens is it creates a virtual entity called work object. Okay, work object will be created at the start shape of the flow. Once the work object is created, work object needs the nodes. Work object will travel through the flow from start shape to till end shape of the flow on its way of resolution. So the work object will have each status. We'll talk about it later. Leave about it. So work object will be created at the start shape of the flow and travel through the flow till end shape on its way to get it resolved. Whether it is successful or unsuccessful, whatever it is. So each work object that is being created can be identified by an ID. So there will be an ID called work object ID or case ID. This is called as work object ID or case ID. Here you will see C-516. So example ID is equal to C-123. Each work object can be uniquely identified by an ID called work object ID, or this is called as a case ID C-123, something like this. Where C dash is the prefix of the work object, 1, 2, 3 is the sequential numeric number that will be generated. So how it gets generated and all we'll be learning later, not now. So I'm going to run it again. Previously it is 516. Now it is 517. If I create one more work object, 518. C dash, it will be continuously going ahead with a sequential numeric number. Okay. Yes. Each time you run the flow, one new work object will be created. So how this work object is being created? So you have enabled an option of creating new work object on the workflow. See, you went to process tab and selected this option, creates a new work object. So because you selected this option, this flow has got the capability to create a work object. In the background, it is creating the work object. So all the information of the workflow will be held by the work object. So the work object, when it is traveling from start shape to till end shape, it will hold all the information of the currently running flow. Everything will be, the information will be held into work object. Now, this information, whatever it is been held, suppose I created this work object, right? C-517. I want to know where I am correct exactly in my workflow. Suppose this is only one single flow because you created just now. You should be able to tell you are at this assignment, displaying this flow action. Say suppose this is a long flow. There are 12 flow shapes. There are many decisions available. At certain point of time in your workflow, you want to know where exactly your work object is. Okay. So that can be known by a developer in a debugging process by clicking on this link of where am I. So where am I is a link that will be provided to you in order to debug the workflow to know the current position of the work object in the currently running flow. So where am I displays the current position of the work object in the workflow. Okay. So what we learned, when you select the option of creates a new work object, of the work class means class group. When you click on the class group name, it will display all the instances. What is the instance which I have created? 517. If I click on 517 here, which will open the item to me. Now I need to click on this link in order to go ahead and open it. See, I stopped it here itself. Okay, so it has start resumed from the same page. Suppose I have 5 screens, 4 screens I completed and I closed. I will come back here and I'll click on this and open it again. Fifth screen will be displayed to me in order to proceed further. Okay, this is for the developer way. User's way is different. I'll tell you how to open and all later. Okay, so this is what a work object when you are going to create. If you want to open it, so it is an instance of the class group. If you want to open it again, click on the class group name. It will be displaying the all the work objects, all the instances. You can click on the one which you want to go ahead and open, so that will be open for you. Now see, I created it and I opened it again. That means I closed it in between and I opened it again. That means it should be there saving into the database already. Once I create it, if it is saved in database, next time when I open, it will be available to me. Otherwise, without saving into the database, this will not be available to me next time when I try to open it. Once you create a work object, the work object will go ahead and save into a PRPC OOTB table. OOTB means out of the box table called PC underscore
That is not important, right? In some cases, it is with the help of PCO tool, the capture.
No. If you do not want to save some data which is not required in between to you, see, the data that will be saved is the only work copy data. There are other data which will not save. You will be looking at it going forward. Okay.
What is the difference between database and PC work?
Database, PC work is a table. Database is the environment component which will hold the tables. PC underscore work is a table. This will be available in the DB environment. How to open the database environment here, I will tell you later. Okay. For now, you need to go ahead and look at it this way only. This is clear so far. Any questions? Any doubts?
Is there only one table for one application?
Per class group. Per class group. One table per class group. Yes, this is one class group. You have n number of class groups, n number of tables. Okay, just go ahead and note down this. Otherwise, just hang on. Across to the file location. Save చేసుకోబెట్టుకుంటూ See, this is given here, creates new work object. This option is available under the process tab of flow. When we select this checkbox, the flow is an executable flow, otherwise it is non-executable flow. Okay, someone else is asking something. Let me clarify this. Say suppose, what if I do not select this checkbox? Can I not create a work object?
Created but not executable.
Hello, in class lo unnanandi, malli call chestanu 15 minutes. See, it will not create a work object. If you do not select this option, it should not be creating a work object. Okay, let's go ahead and see that now. So, but it will create now. Okay, see, when I do not select that option, it is creating a work object, but it should not create a work object. Okay, why it is creating, I will tell you. See, if you go to diagram tab, here you have an option. Here you have an icon called draft on. Okay, I am going to see turn draft mode off when I mouse over. See, once when you create a flow, by default draft mode will be turned on. Okay, you need to turn off the draft mode and then save it. Now you see process tab, I did not set that, right? If you go to action drop, you have an option. Your flow is not executable. See, what is the meaning of draft? Draft and something temporary work which you have done, it is not yet been completed. Okay, so when you create a flow, by default it's a draft flow. Draft flow means which is ongoing work, it is not yet been completed, which is not considered to be a complete flow. Okay, which cannot be executed in the business. Okay, so whenever you are creating a flow, you need to make sure that you have to turn off your draft mode and then proceed further to do anything. Say suppose if I create a draft flow and I'm going to forget to create any work object or whatever I do it, so what will happen, I'll tell you. Okay, see here, if I'm going to turn on the draft mode, you will see a warning message here. This record has an unreviewed warning. What is the warning? This flow is in draft mode. Draft mode suppresses most of the errors. Means, say suppose there are some issues that will not be displayed to you, and this flow will not execute in production environment. So in real-time live environment, if you create a draft flow, that cannot be executed, that will not run your business. So draft flow, when you create, it will not be executing. It's a dummy flow for demonstration purpose. Okay, so that's why whenever you do not choose this option and save it, you are going to get run option, because this is a draft flow. For testing purpose, whatever you do, it doesn't matter. Okay, so you need to always make sure turn off the draft mode. When you turn off the draft mode, you will not see the run option. Means it's a real flow. Real flow without having the capability of creating work object cannot be run. It cannot be executed. So run option itself is disabled. Now if you process tab and choose create a new work object and then save it, you will see run option. Okay. So this is what a difference between draft and normal flow. Leave about draft flow. You can learn it later. You can proceed in a normal way. Okay. So this is what the data about work object, which is executable whenever you choose that option of creates a new work object. Means you're giving the work object, adding a capability to create a work object. So when we run the flow, it creates a work object in the background. See, work object is an instance of class group. Every time when we run the flow, it creates a unique work object. You need to remember this. Unique work object. Each work object can be uniquely identified by an ID called work object ID or case ID. Okay. So example work object ID equal to C-123, where C- equal to prefix and 1 to 3 is the numeric sequential number that is being generated. See, a work object travels through the flow from start shape to till end shape on its way of resolution. So it's been, in between it invokes all other flow shapes. Okay. So to know the current position of the work object in the flow, we need to click on the link, where am I? This one we have seen. And a work object holds all the information of the currently running flow. Once the work object is created, it gets saved into the Pega rules rule base into the OOTB, out of the box predefined, means table called PC_work. And to see or open all the instances are work objects of class group, click on the class group name. Okay, this is also we discussed. And so up to this we discussed.
Sure. Every time it is creating a new work object, right? You want to override it.
See, if you will actually what you are doing one transaction every time. Each time it is generating one new ID. If you want to override it, means you should not be completing it. You are going to come back and open it again and then rewrite it. No, it will not change. So there is a OTP functionality in Pega available, reopen work. Once you are done with your work, you want to override it. There is a facility to reopen the work. When you reopen the work, it will create a next ID. That functionality is there. You are going to modify the existing work.
See, if I give all the details, phone number is wrong, I want to open it and re-enter the correct. Then do I will be created?
Yes, correct. You cannot update on the same, means you have to write a business logic to do this. Or that's how you need to proceed. Once you are done with one first screen, you cannot go back to the screen again. Submit, done. Okay, that's how. So there are ways to go back and now we'll be looking at it later. Okay. So clear this one, everyone. So I will post it. You can go through it and you can write down. Okay. And now proceeding further. Anyone has any questions so far? So one more point we need to discuss. Okay, after this one only we can discuss. Now we will go ahead and I'm going to run the flow again. That is first point. That is not required. That is not required now at all. We will look at it later. That last option, right? That's what I told. Blindly follow that. We will do it later. Okay? That's not required. That's why I did not mention. Okay? So
Can I delete work objects from the?
you can delete. Yes, you can delete. We will see. Learn about creation. Email, right? Okay, now say I entered information. This information will be held by the work object and it is going to be saved in a table called PC_AXA insurance work, right? So it is going to be saved into the table. So once I click on submit, it will be saving all this data. So in between, what is happening? Okay, we need to understand now. So look at here. So say suppose this is the work object which is holding all the information, and this is the database table. Okay. And in between there will be something else. Okay, I'll talk about it now. So once you submit the work object information, okay, if you want to see the information, here is a link available called clipboard. If I click on the clipboard, here you go ahead. See, this is C-519, right? Scroll down. I'm going to click on something. What is that something? We'll understand. Now you will see all the properties and values. What is the property? Age. I've given 29. City. Email. This has been alphabetically ordered. Age, email, city, gender, first name, last name, phone number, and scroll down. I've given zip code 123456. State I have taken Alabama. Other than our properties, you will see something else. Some other properties, these are predefined properties. PX, PY, PZ, we'll learn about it later. We will bother only about our properties. So now what is this clipboard? See, whenever you are going to enter the information in the UI or whatever it is, you are going ahead in your workflow, providing the information and all, the information is going to be saved into the database. It will not directly go to database. So the information which I have submitted will be posted onto a tool called clipboard. Okay, clipboard is a temporary storage location of the data. Okay, all the work object, I told you, work object holds all the information. So the information that is being held by the work object you want to see, where you can see, not in the database. You want to see it in the application, means you have to see it in the clipboard. Okay, the information that you have submitted will be posted onto the clipboard. So the information which is being posted onto the clipboard will be taken into the database. So this is the work object. Work object information on clipboard. This is clipboard. Okay, so now what PRPC will do, internally it has a logic to take the data from the clipboard to database. Okay, this is how happens internally. So from your PRPC application, when I say work object, means you need to understand this is PRPC application. So from PRPC application, when you are going to submit the information will be posted back to the clipboard, and from clipboard it will go to the database tables. Okay, so this is how it works internally. Now when it is going to be posted back onto the clipboard, so you will see all the properties and values, right? Everything is a property. If you want to hold a value, you need a property. See, here I am going to click on something called PY work page. If you go to top here, you see clipboard page, PY work page. The information that is being posting onto the clipboard, that is the properties, will not be available on the clipboard directly. These properties will be taken onto pages. Page will be taken onto a page. Okay, so what is the page? So all the information that you are going to post on a clipboard will be available on a page. Page is an entity which will hold multiple properties onto it. Okay, so properties will not be directly available on the clipboard. These will be available on the clipboard onto its pages, onto the pages of clipboard. Page is an entity which will hold, so functionally speaking, technically I'll talk about it later. Page is an entity which will hold properties onto, and their values onto it. Suppose let's take a notice board. I have a notice board. Think it physically. So on a notice board, I want to go ahead and affix different types of notices. What I'll do, I'm going to write what are the properties, everything on a paper, on a page. That page I'm going to affix on the notice board. Like this, on a notice board, I can have n number of pages posted. So same way, notice board here is a clipboard onto which you have n number of pages available. Each page has its own data on it. Okay, the information that is going to be posted on the clipboard will be posted. The properties will be available on the clipboard onto its pages. Clear? So any questions, any doubts? Functionally you understand, that is enough. What is page technically, we'll talk about it later. So page holds all the other properties. Now see, I'm showing you a PY work page. So these pages will be created on the clipboard automatically by PRPC. You can create your own pages, we'll be doing it later. This PY work page is a system generated page created by PRPC itself. Okay, it will hold all the properties and values which you have used in the user interface. This is important. Okay. So the PY work page will hold the properties which you have used in UI. Other than UI properties do not hold. There are other properties which you are not going to use in UI and only use in business logic. Those will not be held on to PY work page. See, your development should be such a way that any user interface should come on or under PY work page only. This one you slowly understand. You are going to understand slowly every day. Your development should be in a way that all the UI should be UI properties, UI related properties should be available on or under PY work page only. If you are going to use any user interface properties out of PY work page, means that's a wrong programming. Okay, that's not acceptable. Okay, I will show you the scenarios where we come across all these kind of things and all. But for now, you need to remember PY work page is equal to user interface page. This word should be there in your mind. I'm going to ask you again and again in classes. PY work page is equal to user interface. Anything related to UI. If I say you should get a page into your mind called PY work page. Okay, blindly you remember forever. Okay, so PY work page is equal to UI page. Somewhere you want to write down, you can write down. Okay, so the information which we have posted from the user interface will be coming onto the clipboard, onto its pages. In that PY work page is system created page onto which all the UI properties will be holding. PRPC now will take this data to the database and save it into the database. This is what happens in the background. So let's go to the notes now. Clipboard is one of the debugging tools. See, I told you one more thing. Your work object holds all the information. I want to see the work object information. Where I am seeing it? From the application clipboard. So your clipboard is visual representation of work object data. In other words, it's a temporary storage location between PRPC application and its rule base and its database. This point clear, everyone? Any questions, any doubts? Now, the properties and values will be available on the clipboard onto its pages. Okay? The information will be posted from the PRPC application to clipboard, then taken from clipboard. Okay. Then taking from the clipboard, process commander saves this information into its tables, whatever the table. Okay. So work object ID will be assigned to the OOTP. This one we need to discuss. Now, on the PY work page. So I'll show you work object ID property. What is the work object ID? C-519. See, anything that you are going to see in PRPC that should be available to a property only. Okay, the information. Work object ID number equal to C-519, which I see on the UI. I have shown you. That should be available to one predefined property. So that predefined property is called PYID. Okay, where we have seen this? Not in the title. Previously, I'm talking about. Yeah, we have seen. I told you that time. I'm going to ask you this. You need to write down in your notes. PYID is the one which we have seen under the keys drop down of class group, which has been by default selected. Okay, we'll talk about it. Okay, so your PYID is the OOTP property which holds the work object ID. Okay. Next, so in our application, so when you are going to write down, if the class group is equal to this one, then the table will be this one. Okay, for your application, what is the table? PC underscore AXA underscore something. Yes, insurance underscore work. When you are going to write down, do that modification and write down. Clear? These points are clear. Any questions? Any doubts? Anyone has any questions?
How much time the data is available in clipboard?
It will be available. Oh, data in the clipboard, right? See, I told you, clipboard is a temporary storage location, right? So till what time it will be available? Till this particular work object is open here. See, 519 is open now. Okay, it is available. I'm going to do the clipboard. I can see here. See, 519 data is available here. Okay. Now, if you are going to close this and go back to clipboard, do you see that? See, 519 is not available. You don't see any PR, nothing. So it's a temporary location. When you open it again, it will bring from the database. I'll show you now itself. So 519. Okay, I'm going to open it again. Okay, I have opened it. So it is getting the data from the database and keeping on the clipboard. So it's either of the ways it is same. From UI to database, in between clipboard, database to UI, in between clipboard. That is must. Okay, it will be available till you open that particular thread. What is thread we'll select. Okay, this is clear. These are the basic points and important points which you need to know, which you have to remember. Without this, you cannot say that you know PRBs. Clear? Any questions, any doubts?
Can we open the 2 instances at a time?
Yeah, you can go and open multiple instances at a time.
So at that time, what's the data and what?
Yes. See, 519 I have opened, 517 I have opened. Go to clipboard. See 517, and if you want to see 519, hang on. Yeah, 517 you can see. Just give me 1 minute. Yeah, this is the currently open one, active one. Go to clipboard. This is 517. Let me tab out 519. No, it should be available for everything. I'll show you. 517, right? Available, every other thread should be available. All the threads should be available. 516 is available. If I choose 516, PY work pay of 516. 517. Across 516. 517. If you choose 517, that is 517 data. Okay. N number of cases you are working on, all those will be available on the clipboard. You have to choose the one which you want to see. That's it. Clear? Any questions, any doubts?
When does the work complete?
1 second, hang on. Someone is asking, can we use PC underscore table using personal edition? Yes, you can use.
When does the work complete be destroyed or
When you delete it, you can delete it. Work objects and all you can go ahead and delete by using an active, by writing an activity.
So once you log up, so
It's a database. Database means forever.
So suppose a work object has 5 screens.
Mm.
5 screens, and you are stopping between the third
When
screen.
you open it, it will start from third screen.
Will it be saved to clipboard?
Huh?
Will it be saved to clipboard?
Everything will be saved.
Okay.
Okay, clear? So I'll post this notes now itself. Otherwise I will forget and so you need to write down how to open clipboard and all, you know, right? Here is the clipboard icon. So the required navigation I'm going to give you.
So, Harsha,
Yeah.
so can we see the table? I mean, table and its content.
I will show you that. I'll show you
Oh.
the table and contents. I'll show you later.
Okay,
Not
okay,
now.
okay, okay.
ఏంటండి ఫ్లో ఫ్లో వర్క్ ప్రాపర్టీ క్లిప్బోర్డ్ ఇంకా వేరే ఏమైనా యాడ్ చేయాలంటారా మొత్తం యాడ్ చేస్తానండి కాదా అంతే కదా డన్ So you know the post name, right? Flow work object clipboard. You have to go ahead and get a printout or whatever it is. So make sure you should have it in your hand. Okay, I don't know when this website will be down. Okay, every day you have to make sure that it is in your hand. Okay, so just give me 1 minute. Hello, Cheppu Vijay. వస్తున్నారు 5 నిమిషాలు 2 నిమిషాలు. Okay, so let's go ahead and close it for today. We'll meet tomorrow. Already ఉండేది మీకు నోట్స్ ఇచ్చాను కదా, ఇంతకుముందు పెట్టాను కదా.